Welcome to the Mix Zone. Don't forget to check out the results video that me and Ped have done. But on to the news, Ped. Yeah. We're going to start with probably the only place we can start. Something that's dominated the news.
Although he's number 26 now.
He's 26 now, yeah. People moaning the other day saying, like, why are you talking about Donovan and LA Galaxy and everything like that. It's massive news.
Big story. Very big story for MLS.
So therefore, we're going to...
And the thing about it is, and this is what we're going to discuss now, it's a big story whether you like it or whether you hate it. It's got two sides to it, and that's why it's a big story. You know, is it a positive for MLS or is it a negative for MLS?
Well, obviously, we're talking about the return of Landon Donovan. Hung his boots up a couple of years ago, said that was it.
Which he shouldn't have.
Well, he shouldn't have done, but, you know, I think he was really severely pissed at the exclusion from the World Cup.
Didn't get to sign for Everton either, did he?
Didn't get to sign for
Everton. That's what he wanted.
Retired and done a bit of surfing and travelling, and has become a father.
Done a bit more than that. Hey.
Has become a father. But has now decided that due to the injuries that LA Galaxy have had, there's been conversations. I seen he interviewed him the other day. They said, you know, people were texting him saying, come back. He did say, Gerrard played for the wrong team in Liverpool, so Landon,
we love you anyway.
But he's gone back. He's getting $140,000 for the remaining it was 6 games, obviously 5 now after coming on against Orlando. You know, so let me just ask you the question: is it a good move by LA Galaxy, or is he taking the place of maybe one of the younger players who could have come through? In your opinion,
I don't know who they've got coming through, so that's difficult for me to say on that. Yeah. On that,
just in theory.
But what I would say is, they've had a lot of players out. Keane's been touch and go for the last few months. Gerrard's. I feel like Gerrard's got 1 foot out the door already.
Zardes is out for the season.
I think this is a twofold.
De Jong's gone, of course.
De Jong's gone as well. Yeah. I think this is a twofold thing.
Yeah.
I was listening to the commentator last night, English commentator. Stuart Robson was doing the game.
Yeah.
What oh my god, what a load of negative nonsense he was coming out about. Because what he was saying was, he was going, oh, this is gonna, well, the players are gonna rate this, Landon Donovan's getting all the attention, and, you know, players like Ashley Cole will be kicking off about this, they put all this work in, and then Landon Donovan comes in and he gets all the attention and blah blah blah, and you're thinking, number one, they're not going to be asked professional football as it used to be before you become a professional moaner. And number two, maybe that's one of the reasons why he have brought him in, because he's a leader, because it's what they need. They need a leader on the pitch. You know, you look at
and off the pitch.
Yeah, you look at recent results and you think that there's something being missing. People like Ashley Cole is just happily getting on with his own job. He doesn't want it. Probably doesn't want to get involved in all. He will do naturally as a player, but Landon Donovan's a focal point, and as I say, this is twofold. This is on the pitch and off the pitch. On the pitch, they've lost leaders, and they might need a bit of guidance, and some of those younger players might need someone to look to, especially during the playoffs. He's been there, seen it, and done it 6 times, whatever, you know what I mean. He's been there, he's done it. He knows the script. So from that point of view, but also off the pitch, not having those players gives fans, I mean, to be honest, I'm not an expert. Probably should have done some research and I'd look at some of the recent attendances. But if he gets bums on seats at this stage of the season, because you might get a lot of fans that just go, "Oh, is he out injured? I'm not going." You know, you might have. I'm not saying you did, but I'm sure you did. I'm sure LA Galaxy had Liverpool fans turning up to watch Gerrard, right? Probably never seen him before in the flesh.
Yeah.
Maybe in friendlies, and we're like, right, we'll go and watch him. Now he's not playing, like, not buying tickets, not paying $40, $50, whatever. Suddenly Donovan comes back, and then there's another element of fans, Everton fans, who are like, no, it's Donovan, I want to go back again. And that's that. You've got to have that as well, haven't you? Because commercially is a good point, but also going into the playoffs, you want full houses, you want the fans backing you, you want something that changes season from being like just an also-ran season. I mean, they're up there, but they're not necessarily knocking on the door. So from that position as well, it really helps.
This is what I was going to say, because I think at times we speak a lot about it on another show that we do. about perception and things like that, which is what football, soccer is all about. And I think just at the minute, Galaxy were in a dip. Not maybe not results wise, they're still in there in the playoffs, but people are certainly over here. And what I've read, I read Reddit message boards, I read a lot on MLSsoccer.com, stuff like that. And it felt as though with the likes of the Young leaving and with Gerrard being out injured, they just lost a bit of the shininess. And I think
star power,
and all of a sudden, this just puts them right back at the forefront of the news again. This is the news feed since the reveal by Galaxy was fantastic. The video reveal, it was clever and everything else, and that just got everyone talking about them again. He was able to come on last night for the final 10 minutes of the Orlando game. They were 4-1 up when he come on. Orlando scored when he was on the pitch. But he was able to come on, and like you said, he's going to give them something extra. He's the all-time MLS goal scorer, isn't he?
Well, let me just. Right, this is the starting lineup: Rowe, Rodgers, Steers, Van Dam, Cole, the Jet, Garcia, Mendiola, Dos Santos, Boateng, Gordon. That's not exactly a star-filled team, is it? Okay, you've got Ashley Cole in there. Dos Santos, from a Mexican point of view. The Jet, we know, is a good player. Van Dam's a very good centre-back. But I look at that and I just think there's not much star power in that team. Galaxy, as the name suggests, have a lot of star power and want to stay ahead of the game. They want to be seen as a world brand, LA Galaxy, and they've done really, really well to do that as well. That team to me does not scream world brand. That screams a team full of good MLS players, but not sort of household names.
I mean, listen, from our point of view, we seen him in the flesh at Goodison. He was excellent for Everton on a couple of occasions. He was over here. We wanted him to stay, and
I've met him.
We met him, and it didn't quite happen that he stayed. But I'm excited to see whether he can bring anything else to the. And I think the other thing is he's well known over in the UK. From our point of view. So we're going to get to see him again in MLS at a time when MLS is streamed over here and it's more accessible. Me and you find it, whatever. But as we go into the playoffs as well, so I think he's quite well known. He's well known in Germany, of course. He had a couple of stints there. So
I think from an LA Galaxy point of view, it's nothing but positive. Going into the playoffs. I think from an MLS point of view, though, I think there are negative connotations. People see a player who's been retired for 2 years, even though he was far too young to have retired. But he had lost. He said he'd lost the love for the game. He'd already sort of lost the love for the game when he. And I'll be honest, I know. I think he did want that move to the Premier League.
He did
at a stage in his career where he felt like he could still do it, and for one reason or another, that wasn't allowed to happen. And I think maybe he lost a little bit of focus. He won the MLS Cup with LA and thought that's the perfect way to sign out. And now he's been getting his own kicking about, and think. I know he said it's great that his son can come to games and things like that. That's great. But from an MLS point of view, there'll be people, detractors, thinking we're seeing players in their peak go to China on mega bucks. And we're talked about a retirement league, and we're seeing players who have retired come out of retirement and play. No, I'm just saying there's positives, but I'm saying these are the
there is
these are the negatives.
But the kind of counter argument to that is he's 34. Didier Drogba is knocking him in at 39, right? So, I don't know what powers he's got left in his body. We wouldn't know. I think at 34,
healing powers, hopefully.
Well, yeah. He's 34. He's had a couple of years out the game. Maybe that's helped him. Maybe he'll have a strong finish, and maybe Galaxy will give him another 12 months. Who knows? But all will be revealed.
Do you know one thing I would say is I think some MLS fans or some fans need to just get that chip off their shoulder and stop worrying about what the perception of MLS is, and just enjoy MLS.
Enjoy it,
Do you know what I mean? Just get on with enjoying MLS and stop worrying about what people think of the league. And maybe most people who follow MLS don't care anyway. And those people from the outside who are going, who cares? If they've not bought into it by now, they're never going to buy into it. So just let it be what it's going to be. It's I'm not being funny, right? But if Everton had turned around and said, Landon Donovans, I'd be quite excited for Landon Donovans to come to Everton now, because I just think to myself, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. It wouldn't bother me one bit. So, for me, for LA Galaxy, it's right. He's experienced on and off the pitch when they're going into the playoffs, when they've got a lot of players there who, you look at that team they started with. How many of them have won an MLS Cup? There's not many of them, is there? That is a team. Okay, forget about how many times Galaxy have won the cup. That's not an MLS Cup winning side. So they need experience, and even if that experience is on the bench, talking to people, coming on the pitch in the latter stages and saying, right, listen, this is what we need to do to close out the game or whatever. That's why it's a good thing now, because they'll get in the playoffs, and hopefully by the time the playoffs come, he'll be 70-80% fit, which is all you need if you're going to come off the bench.
He might come in and get a couple of winning goals in playoffs.
You might do,
and then they end up winning it, and you go, it was well worth it, and let's see if he wants to carry on. It's going to be an interesting watch, of course, over the next few.
It will be.
He's signed for 6 games. They'll be open. There's another 6 games on top of that in terms of winning it. And then I suppose we can all reassess him. He's everything's aimed.
He's not signed some big mad contract. He hasn't signed a DP contract. He's just signed a decent contract. But it is what it is.
December the 10th is when he'll be hoping to reassess, won't he?
And he probably won't even reassess then.
No.
He'll probably look at what he's done and go, right, well, I can go away for 2 months
and see what.
And have a think about it.
See what. Listen, there's a lot. For me, looking at it objectively, there's quite a few MLS clubs that'd do well to talk him into playing for them.
I don't think he'd play for anyone
else. I don't, but I just mean there's some there's some gaps in teams.
Don't get me wrong, I don't think he'd play for anyone else, but it'll fit him down to the ground. He's probably kicking around what his missus, you want to do us a favour? Go out, do me head in, go out the house.
Well, let's move on.
Tell me to we're party and Landon Donovans just sitting round. Honest to God.
We're excited to see Landon back in MLS. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Is it a good move for MLS? It's obviously a good move for Galaxy because they're getting that experience back on the bench.
And if anyone from LA Galaxy is watching and wants to send us like a 26 t-shirt to replace this 10 one, we'll happily put it on display for you. No problem at all.
No problem at all. The person who asked us, do we want the Poku shirt? Yes, we will have it. Thank you very much.
You only ever see the front of it, though.
Exactly. Right, moving on from Landon Donovan. Welcome back, Landy. A player who's, I think he's a fantastic player. Plays for your club. Could be on his way out of MLS. Ped, Benny Feilhaber.
Yeah, there's talk he could be going.
Allegedly in advanced talks with.
There was apparently talk that he was going to go to an Israeli club.
Right.
But this one, I don't know if this one's been revealed. But
close to signing a pre-contract, apparently.
Which don't actually mean anything, by the way. Pre-contracts don't mean anything. There's no actual legal obligation if you sign a pre-contract. Maybe this is just a clever game to get what he wants out of Sporting. Well,
he said, of course, he's happy to stay at Sporting Kansas City, but he said there's been no contract offer on the table, which I find it hard to believe because when I've seen Sporting this season, and I haven't seen every game, I've seen highlights of course, but the games I've caught, he's always been one who's pulling the strings.
Yeah, well he is. He's one of the most creative players in the league, and
he's only 31 as well.
Yeah, I think. What? It's funny because Don Dwyer was linked away with a move going to Greece, and it was more.
And Wolves.
It's more coming from the club rather than coming from the player himself. So I don't know whether they're trying to play a clever game with them, getting contracts sorted or what. But I think it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
Looking to, if you're not looking, they should be looking to tie up their best players.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially when they're probably at the peak years of their career as well. So get it done. Stop being cheap and get it done.
And he's by all accounts, he wants to stay. He's not signing.
Get it sorted.
Get it sorted. Talking of ex-players, for Premier League players, really, he's not in the Premier League anymore. Moving into MLS, Gabby Agbonlahor.
Oh God.
Who was at Aston Villa. He's training with the under-23s at Villa. He's had quite a public falling out with Villa over the last 6 months. He's waiting until his contract expires, but he's been linked with a few of the expansion sides, Atlanta, Minnesota. And someone messaged me and said, what do you think about Agbonlahor? What kind of player is he? Would he be a good signing for an MLS side? And what are your thoughts? So what are your thoughts on Gabby before I speak about him?
You know, broke through for Villa.
Who did he score his first goal
against?
His
first goal against Everton, I think, in a 4-1 defeat. Lot of promise early on, lot of hope. Very, very fast player.
Yeah.
In the Martin O'Neill team, he was fantastic. Yeah. He fitted so well. Him on one side, Ashley Young on the other.
Yeah.
You know, they played like a 4-3-3, and it was fantastic for a few months there. And then the last few years, he's just dropped off. And he's another one where it's just his love of the game has been lost.
How old is he?
He's 29.
29.
Yeah.
I thought he was about
so
34.
But he was the captain of Villa because he was like the hometown boy. But his love of football has just been replaced by the love of curry
and bling.
I think he likes the footballing image without liking to be putting the hard work in. And this is like what we were talking about on the result show with Breck Shea. There's a stage in your career where you have to put all that aside. That's there. That'll always be there. It'll be there after you've finished your career. Too many people want to do both, and you can't do that.
We didn't say Breck Shea liked curry, by the way.
No, he might like curry. I don't know.
He might love a jalfrezi.
You know, I don't know that. Might be a Corma guy. I'm not sure. But now maybe this will be the start he needs. But I hope he's not one of those. If he is genuinely interested, I hope he's not one of those people who thinks MLS is easy, because he is literally the wrong shape to play MLS at the moment, because he's just fat. And if he thinks he can come into MLS and just walk around and it's all going to be kosher, then he's going to be sorely out of his depth, because he'll be left behind by so many other players. And unfortunately, the last couple of years, he hasn't had the heart or the work rate. So you'd have to massively change things.
It's a tough one, because I think if an MLS club could get him right, he could do a lot of damage in this league, because he's a decent goal scorer. He's fast. He's a handful when he's on his game. But like for everything, like you've just said, Ped, it's all about attitude. And at the moment, whether it's just Villa thing, whether he's disheartened or whatever, he's training with the Villa under-23s. Villa are in the Championship, and he's training with the kids. So that tells you everything you need to know about his attitude. But who knows, if he's serious about coming and playing in the United States, then who knows, he might well be a decent sign for someone. But you know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see there. MLS analyst Matthew Doyle has done some interesting stats about goals. I suppose it's fitness for clubs. But goals allowed or conceded after the 60th minute. Columbus Crew conceded 24 goals after the hour mark. Red Bulls 20.
Oof. And
Orlando City 19.
They need to drink some of their own product. The Red Bulls,
Red Bulls clearly need to drink some of their own product. But that just shows you the fitness levels, doesn't it? How important it is. I mean, Columbus Crew are bottom, of course. So I suppose no surprise that they've let so many goals in, but that's something. I
wonder if a lot of that's to do. I mean, the two teams you just mentioned there, Columbus and New York. Now, please, you know, I'm sure you will tell me, but you look at them and you think when they're playing home games, you know, they're playing probably average temperature.
Yeah.
And when they go to away games, they're suddenly. You know, because you look at a lot of teams and there's something about, you know, altitude for Colorado, heat in Dallas, Houston, Orlando, Kansas. New York seems to have maybe the right kind of conditions just to play football. So when they go to all these other games, their fitness levels are like New York fitness levels, and then it's like, are they Dallas? No, they're not Dallas. You know what I mean? Whereas someone like Dallas, they've got the hardest fitness, you know, they're fit as anything. So you're thinking, and that gets them through game. I mean, I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. Because there's so many permutations for
Orlando
weather.
19, mind you, that's just because Orlando can't defend. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about it. Mark Fishkin has sent one in. MLS most points since the 1st of August. Toronto, 16. They took 16 points since August 1st. LA, Red Bulls, Philadelphia and Seattle took 11. Seattle, who was struggling, but that
just shows how much of a turnaround they've had.
Siggy went 11 points, and Real Salt Lake and DC have had 10 points since the 1st of August, so they're piling the points up, but just highlights how well Toronto have done.
Yeah, that's momentum, isn't it?
That is
real,
pure
real
momentum. And what we spoke about in the results show with that.
Yeah.
You know, how much, because they're of course top now in the Eastern one, aren't they? So, in the Eastern Conference, so fantastic that they've managed to do that. Just very quickly, we'll touch on, who do you think, we were talking about the Eastern Conference before, who do you think's going to take that final place between DC, Orlando and New England Revolution? Who would your money be on at the minute?
Do you know what? I've got a funny feeling. DC might just scrape in.
Have you?
I've got a feeling, just a feeling,
feeling.
just because of their experiences.
Ben Olsen,
Orlando, it would be big for Orlando, because Orlando, if they could make it this year, Orlando, then that would, obviously, it was the first time and they'd been in the playoffs. You know, one out of two is not bad, is it? So
50%.
So I'm hoping Orlando, I really am. But DC might use all their experience. But then it's whether if New England swerve Kamara and get back to what they were doing last season, then they've got a great chance as well.
That's mad though, isn't it? Because Kai Kamara had 26 goals last season, and we're talking about
not having it.
He's not doing. I suppose again it comes
doesn't
down
fit
to,
in.
Comes down to styles of play. We've seen it in the Premier League, haven't we? With certain strikers who are big and strong, move clubs and just don't fit in. I'm thinking of course Benteke at Liverpool, scored a lot of goals with Villa, went to Liverpool, didn't really work out. So, you know, it can happen in the best of leagues. Let us know what you think on any of the subjects we've discussed in the comments section below. Any questions you want to ask us, any topics you think we should be discussing or you want to see discussed as we go forward.
We ain't afraid to tackle the big subjects.
We'll tackle any subject, throw it at us. And we'll see what we can do next week. But don't forget to check out the results show. Give us a like, give us a follow. Just tell your mates and spread the word.
We're here.
We're here.
Whether you like it or not.
Every week. And we'll catch you soon on the MLS show. And off the pitch.
Yeah, you look at recent results and you think that there's something being missing. People like Ashley Cole is just happily getting on with his own job. He doesn't want to, probably doesn't want to get involved in all. He will do naturally as a player, but Landon Donovan's a focal point, and as I say, this is twofold. This is on the pitch and off the pitch. On the pitch, they've lost leaders, and they might need a bit of guidance, and some of those younger players might need someone to look to, especially during the playoffs. He's been there, seen it, and done it 6 times, whatever, you know what I mean. He's been there, he's done it. He knows the script. So from that point of view, but also off the pitch, not having those players gives fans. I mean, to be honest, I'm not an expert. Probably should have done some research and I'd look at some of the recent attendances. But
a couple of years ago, said that was it.
Which he shouldn't have.
Well, he shouldn't have done. But you know, I think he was really severely pissed at the exclusion from the World Cup.
Didn't get to sign for Everton either, did he?
Didn't get to sign.
Clearly, that's what he wanted.
Retired and done a bit of surfing and travelling, and has become a father.
Done a bit more than that. Hey.
Has become a father. But has now decided that due to the injuries that LA Galaxy have had, there's been conversations. I seen the interview with him the other day. They said, you know, people were texting him saying, come back. He did say, Gerrard played for the wrong team in Liverpool, so Landon,
we love you anyway.
But he's gone back. He's getting $140,000 for the remaining 5. Well, it was 6 games, obviously 5 now after coming on against Orlando. You know, so let me just ask you the question: is it a good move by LA Galaxy, or is he taking the place of maybe one of the younger players who could have come through? In your opinion,
I don't know who they've got coming through, so that's difficult for me to say on that.
Yeah.
On that,
just in theory.
But what I would say is, they've had a lot of players out. Keegan's been touch and go for the last few months. Gerrard's. I feel like Gerrard's got one foot out the door already.
Zardes is out for the season.
I think this is a twofold.
De Jong's gone, of course.
De Jong's gone as well. Yeah, I think this is a twofold thing.
Yeah.
I was listening to.
Welcome to the Mix Zone. Don't forget to check out the results video that me and Ped have done. But on to the news, Ped.
Yeah.
We're going to start with probably the only place we can start. Something that's dominated the news.
Although he's number 26 now.
He's 26 now, yeah. People moaning the other day saying, like, why are you talking about Donovan and LA Galaxy and everything like that. It's massive news.
Big story. Very big story for MLS.
So therefore, we're going to
and the thing about it is, and this is what we're going to discuss now, it's a big story, whether you like it or whether you hate it. It's got two sides to it, and that's why it's a big story. You know, is it a positive for MLS or is it a negative for MLS?
Well, obviously, we're talking about the return of Landon Donovan. Hung his boots up.
I was listening to the commentator last night, English commentator, Stuart Robson was doing the game.
Yeah.
What and oh my god, what a load of negative nonsense he was coming out about.
Was
because what he was saying was, he was going, oh, this is gonna, well, the players are gonna rate this, Landon Donovan's getting all the attention, and you know, players like Ashley Cole will be kicking off about this. They put all this work in, and then Landon Donovan comes in and he gets all the attention and blah blah blah. And you're thinking, number one, they're not going to be asked professional football as it used to be before you become a professional moaner. And number two, maybe that's one of the reasons why he have brought him in, because he's a leader, because it's what they need. They need a leader on the pitch. You know, you look at